Morning, Steve.
Morning.
How you feeling?
Yeah, same old, same old.
Same old. We like same old. Same old's good.
Consistently miserable.
At least we know where we're at.
Indeed.
So today we've woken up. We'll tell you where we are in a bit and all about that. And we're about to go on a little adventure today. Stephen's making the lunch. So what we got, Stevie?
Just tuna wraps, but I'll put a bit of tomato puree with the mustard.
Oh, nice. We have woken up in France. We're still in France, and we're in a little place, a very small village called Tercont. I will write it there. It's very difficult to try and pronounce that properly, but I think it's Tercont or something very similar. And we are in the Loire Valley, so this is a whole region, like a national park of sorts, and of course the River Loire, which I think is France's longest river, runs through it until it eventually gets out to the sea. To be fair, we kind of made this up at the last minute, so we really didn't know where we were heading. We planned to go somewhere. It didn't look right. Steve squeezing the mustard bottle behind me.
My money's worth.
Well, yeah, get every last drop out. Yeah, we went to stop somewhere. It didn't quite work out, so we moved further south. We haven't travelled that far into France. We've been here quite a few days now. We've been here about a week almost, and we've only gone not even halfway down, I don't think, but that's fine. We're just taking our time. In terms of cold, it's cleared up to some degree. My nose isn't as blocked anymore, but it mutated into a cough, and that cough has kind of lingered, so there's been no running on my part, no real exercise or anything like that. It's out of my head now, so hopefully I'm not contagious. And Stephen, we thought, was coming down with something, didn't we? There was a bit of a scary moment a couple of days ago, but you seem all right, do you?
I think so.
So I think he's kept it at bay, and I haven't given it to him, which is great and actually quite astonishing given we live in this tiny space. Right, you ready to go exploring, Stefan?
Hi.
So we're in Tercont, and we're parked on, I can't remember if we said earlier, but we're parked on a free air, which is always lovely. You do have to pay for the water. You get a little token, which is quite common in France, a couple of quid from one of the local shops. You put a token in and you can get your fresh water. Other than that, everything's fine. You can stay for free, and you have got your black waste, your grey waste, and some rubbish as well, and of course a place to park and sleep without worrying, which is always great. So we're kind of just wandering around at random here. We don't really know what we're doing, do we? We're just a bit lost already, not sure which direction to go in. But this village, so Tercont, and so many of the towns and villages along this part of the Loire Valley, the Loire River, they are known because a group of people called, is it the troglodytes, Stephen?
Yeah.
They lived in caves along here. And you're a troglodyte, are you?
That's what my sister.
I think you'd like to be.
Right, Mel.
And the troglodytes, so activity of people living in caves around this area has been going on for like 1500 years, but it wasn't until the Middle Ages that it really came into prominence in this region. And it's so known for it because they used to mine and extract the white limestone here, and that limestone, I think it's called Tuffa limestone, T-U-F-A or something like that. It's probably not right, I don't know. That was used to build so many buildings in France, including some really extravagant ones, cathedrals. You see a lot of that around here with white buildings, apparently. So what happened when they extracted all of that, lots of people in the local area actually moved into these caves. And they set up home, and they lived in these caves all along this part for absolutely centuries. And I think it was in the 1930s, roughly, at the latest anyway, that it all kind of stopped. I don't know why it stopped, but it did just stop. So people lived here, and of course, funnily enough, now it's become trendy again, and people have started to move back into these caves, and they've turned them into, well, homes again, but also shops, like very specialist shops, wineries, things like that. Even there's mushroom farms along here where they grow mushrooms in the caves. And of course, that old favourite, the holiday home, Steve.
Aye.
Plenty of those as well. So if you want to stay on the River Loire, there's plenty of caves you can actually rent, I think, to stay in.
You know, those caves where the poor people lived.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I think it was mostly the less well-off people that moved into the caves, and as with so many things that were attributed to people who were less well off, it's now become like a trendy, almost rich thing, which is how these things seem to go, isn't it? You know, a bit like how oysters were once the poor man's food. Is that right, Steve?
I think so.
You know, these things come back round into wealthier hands because somebody decides it's on trend.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happened to the caves.
And ruins it for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, from what we've seen so far, we don't know exactly where they are. They're a bit rough and ready, these ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, I don't know what the rest of it looks like, but looking at this, I think you've ruined it.
There's some examples here. It doesn't look like it really fits, does it, a lot of this? But maybe we'll see some better ones as we go along, I don't know.
I don't know, I think there's quite a few where we're going, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's a rough trail we're following, but we don't really know. Well, this is going spectacularly well. We didn't really know where we were going to begin with. I found a rough trail, but it led us out of the village through vineyards, and it just got really muddy, and it just became apparent that we were going to be walking through vineyards all the way to the other villages we're going to, which would bypass some of the cave houses. If we even get to see any of these cave houses, maybe we're just in the wrong place. There's a town further along that is more known for it, but I just thought there was some here as well. I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't think we know where we're going.
Well, I know the rough direction. We're going to the other villages along there. Now, the other villages, Con-Saint-Martin, I think one of them is called, Con-Saint-Martin. That's known as one of the prettiest villages in France, and one of the most beautiful. I mean, there's lots of them that have that apparent tag. And Montserrat, is it, Steve? I think they're both together. So these are meant to be two very pretty villages on the banks of the Loire. So that's where we're going. Oh my God, that smell is awful. I don't know what it is. Oh.
This is where they grow their mushrooms, isn't it?
Oh God. We've just come to a cave now where the road has just led round. We're going in the creepy cave now. Oh, this doesn't seem right, does it? Oh my God. I think we need to get out. Yeah, no public, okay. And it's also pitch black, so we're not going to be traipsing through that. All right, let's just go back to the start and start again, because this ain't working, is it?
Let's just go to the pub.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's do that.
Let's just go to the bleeding
Oh my God.
pub. It's boring me now.
Yeah, it's boring me. And it's not a nice day. It's better to just drink beer, I think.
And it smells savage here.
Can you stop with the swearing? I have to keep editing that out.
Alright, sorry.
God's sake, I'll keep telling him.
Bollocks. Oops.
Oh, but before we get kicked out of this place that we're probably not meant to be in, Tim just pointed out, I think these are the places, one of the places where they're growing the mushrooms, and they do it inside the caves, and there's some other places along here that do that. I don't know how that all works, but
Maybe they've finished.
yeah,
They seem a bit abandoned.
it seems completely abandoned. All right, let's get out, start again. All right, well, we found one thing behind us that's kind of half built into the caves, isn't it? Into the cliffside, which is obviously a hotel. I don't think we can get any further, so maybe we're just not looking in the right bit. I know one of the towns further along, I'll write it there, is more famous for these cave dwellings, but I thought there was a bit more along this side as well. We're just probably looking in totally the wrong bit. Shall we just give up and walk along the river, Steve? I think we need to do that. Time's running out.
And we need to find like provisions today.
We do, and we're only going to find a little shop for that, I think, if we're staying another night, which by the time we finish this walk, we probably will do. Yeah, let's just go down to the River Loire and walk along that way.
Yeah,
let's just give up on caves.
We will stay, because I can't be asked to put the bed up.
No, yeah, the bed's stood up. All right, well, we've arrived in the first little village, or the next village along. Montserrat, is it, Stephen? I think it's that. I don't know what's here really, so we're kind of just filming on a whim here. It's very quiet. They're just kind of like quiet, sleepy villages, aren't they, on the banks of the river, and there's not much there. This one seems to have a little bit more. There seems to be a bar, which is great, and a shop and a few other little things, but generally it's just a few odd houses. They all seem to be done in this kind of brick. It almost looks like breeze block, doesn't it? I know it's not. It probably isn't, but maybe it's that limestone. But it kind of gives everything a like half finished look, I'm not gonna lie. So again, it's this, everything is in this style, all the houses, walls. It's obviously just a local thing. Well, there we go, Steve. We're at the top of some panoramic view. You can't really see much, but it's the meeting point of two rivers. So the Loire over here, and then I think the Vienne River here, they meet, and then they carry on there, where I assume that just becomes the Loire then, doesn't it? I guess that's the end of the Vienne, and they decide it's just the Loire. How do they make that decision then? Because if it's the meeting point of two rivers, you have to decide which one it is that carries on, right? But I suppose it's mostly that arc that makes it the Loire. I don't know. But yeah, you can't see masses, so I'll stop filming.
No.
There's our new home, Steve. Beautiful, eh?
Bit tiny.
A little bit small.
Bit of a downgrade.
By the river, I mean, who wants that? Imagine the mosquitoes. No, we'll pass on that. But this is peaceful. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like, we're probably not like overly bowled over by what we've seen today, which sounds incredibly ungrateful, doesn't it? I think it's just because it's a bit of a grim day, and it was just like, it's okay, like, it's nice, it's still really pretty, but we're not like raving about it or anything, but whatever, like, as if we're not complaining, and we get to see whatever we get to see is a bonus. We're in a van, it doesn't matter what we get to see, it's great, it's something new, you know? Sometimes they're going to really like wow and dazzle you, sometimes they're not, and that's okay. Why would everything do that? That wouldn't be normal. Alright, shall we walk back to Turcotte, Steve, and go in search of a beer?
You won't find one.
Why not?
They're closed.
What's closed?
Bar, today and tomorrow.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yep.
There was a bar behind us where we parked, and that was open last night. We didn't want to go in, but now we want to go in. Oh well, there is a shop. So we'll pick up some goods then. Be cheaper anyway.
Yeah, I think what we should do is go to the shop, get some drinks for later, get
Provisions.
dinner, go back to the van, get dinner all cooked and ready,
Alright.
and then put a film on,
Yeah.
enjoy our spoils.
That'd be very nice. Big enough for us, Steve?
No,
No, I don't.
it's an appetizer.
It is just a starter, really, isn't it?
No.
What do you call that word?
Aperitif.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. It's just an aperitif.
No.
Where can we find a bottle like that, though? Just out of interest.
I want wine and to lay down now. I've had
We're
enough.
desperate for wine now.
Desperate for laying down and
Yeah,
wine.
we are knackered. That was quite a long walk back, actually. Well, altogether, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. I still feel a bit. So it wasn't a massive walk, but like when you add it all up, getting there, getting around things, going up a few hills, coming back, and now we've got shopping on our backs as well. Yeah, we're a bit knackered now, aren't we? Just want to lie down and guzzle a little bit of wine, a little bit of French wine. Let's see where we go.
Aye.
Well, we won't go anywhere, we're just staying the night.
Aye.
Get some dinner on. We've got sweet potato curry tonight.
Yeah.
Right, let's get back.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're back at the van and we're about to put dinner on, and tonight's CAMPERVAN cuisine is going to be a sweet potato curry, and the first ingredient of which is going to be a glass of red wine, of course. Oh, it's ripped off in half. This has already gone wrong. I've tried to put the corkscrew in and the cork just ripped in half. You can see we're not pros at this. I think
Yes, we are.
no, we're just used to screw tops back in the UK. That's what it is. Like, we don't usually buy corked wine bottles anymore. It feels like something, I mean, how many people do that now? I imagine a lot of people do it, but we're so used to screw top wine bottles, aren't we, these days? But in France, we've noticed that it's not really a thing, or at least it doesn't seem to be. So now I've done this and broken it, which is wonderful. Right.
Cue meltdown.
Haven't even started cooking yet. There we go. Safely removed. Seems pretty good. I'm not a wine expert, but that seems pretty nice. I'll put a picture of it or a video of it up as I'm speaking now. Anyone know their wines? Does this seem like a good one? It tastes pretty good. Tastes quite rich, but that's quite nice. All right, let's do some cooking. Okay, so first up is an onion, the staple. Okay, then we're going to add a little bit of garlic, not that much, but a few of those bulbs. This is massive. Some of these cloves are absolutely huge, but still, we do like a lot of garlic, so we'll probably add about 3 or 4 of those. Now, we're not cooks or anything properly, as I think is quite apparently obvious from if you've ever watched our videos before. So, you know, it is quite rough and ready, and we do tend to stick to about 3 or 4 different staples in the van. So we tend to cook in just one pot if we can, apart from when we're doing things like rice and stuff, which you do separately. But, you know, like generally we try and keep it as minimal, or at least to as one saucepan as possible. So if you've got any ideas for meals to cook in a camper van, do let us know, because we're always looking out for new things to cook, because we do tend to repeat ourselves quite a lot, which tends to be what we do on these videos as well. Certainly what I do, repeat myself a lot. Honestly, I never think you can have enough garlic. I just love it so much. Obviously the after effects are not so good, but really, who cares? That's someone else's problem, right? Garlic breath, not yours. And if you've both got it, well, it don't matter, does it? And obviously the star of the show, sweet potatoes. We're probably not going to use all 5 of these, although they're a little bit smaller than they seem. So that's going in next. I'm just going to crouch down now to talk. Oh my God, this hurts my knees. I'm not quite at the right angle. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's a bit better. Now, a lot of people would be like, why aren't you using a potato peeler for things like this? And ever since, when I was a teenager, I worked in a fruit and veg shop for a little bit, and one day I remember just cutting myself on this peeler because they made chips in this fruit and veg shop, and we had to do it really quick on these peelers, like super quick. And I just remember hacking my finger to pieces, and I've never ever wanted to use one since. And I did try a couple of times, and I still felt like I was going to cut myself. So I use the knife, which I'm sure a lot of people do when they're peeling potatoes. Even though it takes off more skin than a potato peeler, I just don't want to go back there, Steve. I'm just not reliving it.
You look my height.
What, now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Oh my God, is this what it's like for you?
Yeah.
Level with the sink. Yeah. Level with the cooker. Yeah. So yeah, I will not be using a potato peeler. Now you can cut the sweet potato into as big or smaller chunks as you like, but we tend to put them into quite small pieces because we tend to find they cook a lot easier and a lot quicker if you make them small, and it just makes it a lot nicer, doesn't it? And Stephen's now asking for more wine, the essential stuff. Never mind the bloody cooking. By the way, sweet potato is so bloody nice raw. Have you ever tried it?
No.
It tastes a bit like a carrot, but nicer. It's so good. You can just chop this up and dip it in stuff. Not that we ever do, but oh my God, I'm always reminded when I'm cooking this how nice raw sweet potato is. Anyway, wine. I mean, red wine's better for you than white wine, right? You can justify it more. It's good for the heart. I don't know if that's true. And we're also going to add a chilli, and we've got one Scotch bonnet chilli left. Now these are really hot, but they do have quite a fruity flavour to them. They actually have flavour, I feel, compared to most chilies. They've got that fruitiness. It just, I don't know how else to explain it. So we're going to put that in. One, it's going to make it hot, but hopefully not too hot. And that has been sitting in our cupboard for God knows how long. I don't know how it survived. Normally they've gone off. Maybe we should be concerned that this chilli is still all right after what I feel is not just weeks, but possibly months. But we're going to use it anyway. So we're just going to cook all of that down in a saucepan with a little bit of olive oil. Obviously I'm a little bit ahead now. I think I've done a bit too much sweet potato, although I didn't use all the ones I showed you earlier. But there's still about 4 in there. But I think that'll be alright. Give that a stir, and I'm going to probably put some water in that and put the lid on for a bit so those potatoes cook down for a bit. Now again, I don't know the exact methods. I don't really look at recipes that often. But we just know that sweet potato curry is fairly straightforward and a good staple for us. So I've added a bit of water. I'm going to put the lid on now, let that cook for a few minutes, and then I'll add some chopped tomatoes, I think. So before we do that, I'm going to add a little bit of cumin. It's not really coming out of this thing. That's a terrible hole. I might have to take the lid off. But that's what we're going to add. And I'm going to add the last of whatever this is. Now, we've had this in the van for ages. In fact, we might have had this since the last time we went to Spain. And I think it's a mix of different spices, turmeric, coriander, that kind of stuff. So let's just add all of that. I don't think much is going to come out of it at this point. I think that's the last of it, so that gets rid of it. All adds flavour, right? And I'm going to add a little bit of medium curry powder as well, which again is a mix of different things. Just to give it a little bit of spice. So, you know, this is, I think it's all stuck at the bottom. Hold that thought. All right, let's try again. There we go. A little bit of curry powder, different things going on in that. Stir that through. I think that's all looking pretty good so far. You can't go wrong with things like this, not really. Just add your own combination of flavours. Put things down in a pan and you'll be alright. And then of course the essential chopped tomatoes. Stir all that through. Okay, so that's now cooked down for a little bit. I had that on low heat for about half an hour or so, and the sweet potatoes have softened. And the last thing I'm going to add, we picked this up in the shop earlier in one of the villages just along the road, and it's tinned spinach. I was going to use this. This is the sort of thing I would eat out of the can on its own, to be honest. But when we decided we were going to do sweet potato curry, I actually thought this would be nice in it, so we're going to add some of that. Now, it's not the same as fresh spinach. It's
tinned.
Yeah, it's tinned and it's cooked and it's all a bit sludgy, but I think it's going to be all right. So we're going to add some tinned spinach to the sweet potato curry. So we're going to stir that around. I think there's a little bit too much spinach in there because it kind of just fell out of the tin when I went to put some in, and the entire tin went to go in. But that's all right. Spinach is nice. And spinach and sweet potato go together very well indeed. It's now just looking like a spinach curry featuring sweet potato. You don't mind though, Stephen, do you?
So what?
Okay, you just burped. I said it's now looking like a spinach potato. Oh my God, what? That's going to be nice, I think. That's looking tasty. A bit too much spinach than I thought.
I'll soon send it back if it's not.
Where are you going to send it back to?
I don't know, just slap it in your face.
Literally, you're going to slap it around my face. Okay, well, there'll be a mess in the van if you do that.
It's very hot.
Very hot. Spicy hot or just hot?
Well, I haven't been able to try it because it's so hot. Like,
probably both.
like hot.
It's just too hot to taste. We just can't tell anything.
It's nice.
Is it nice?
Nice.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Morning, Steve.
Morning.
Oh, you sound awake.
No, I'm not.
Stephen tends to take about an hour at least to kind of get going, whereas I sort of ping wide awake and then my energy's used up quicker. It's very, very different. We're so different, aren't we, like that? Yeah. But I wish I was more like you, because you tend to sleep a lot better, and you've got this more kind of... I tend to speedily go into something and out of it, and then I'm just burnt out.
Trouble is I don't like any kind of stimulation when I wake up. Everything feels about 1 billion times louder.
That includes not talking to you or anything like that.
Exactly.
And here I am, sticking the camera in your face. All right, we'll stop that now. So we've woken up in Turkon again, and we're going to leave here today. We don't really know where we're going, but that's the excitement of this road trip, isn't it, Steve? A little bit like the idea that we don't really know what we're doing, no set plans. We just kind of make it up maybe the day before, maybe 2 days before maximum, and just sort of pick somewhere and think, oh, that looks all right, and go there. I think making a whole itinerary, although that sounds like really good organisation, that also sounds really stressful to me, as the pressure is on to sort of go to all these places you've picked out and fit to a certain time, whereas for us it's like, no, we'll just do the pace as we see fit, and that feels like a really nice way to travel. And then you can't be disappointed, right? Because you're just kind of moving along and just picking things at random, and when something comes up that's good, it's even more amazing then, and there's no expectation. So we're going to drink our tea. I'm going to attempt a very short run this morning. I'm still not feeling great. This cough's still there, so this probably isn't wise, but I'm just going to do it gently, do a little bit of walking, a little bit of jogging. I just want to see how it feels, because the river path along here makes it quite nice and easy to do. So I'm going to give it a go, no pressure, and hopefully that will kickstart our day. Right, I'm all in my shorts, I've got my running shoes on, I've got my jacket. This has been a while. This feels like it's been about 2 weeks, I think. So let's see how this goes. Wish me luck, Steve.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I might just come back in like a coughing mess or something.
Just take it slowly.
Yeah.
Alright, go on, bag her off. I want to get this bed up.
Alright, I'm going. See you later.
Bye.
Well, I did it. I can't say it did me any good, but I still did it. I did a 5k. I tried not to push it too much. Just ran along the river that we walked along yesterday. Hopefully you saw that in the video. We didn't film the masses of it, but it's a really good path for running. So that was an ideal thing to try and get back into it. Not my best time, but it was all right. And I haven't keeled over and died. Not yet anyway. My head feels all right. I did start coughing. But other than that, yeah, I think I was okay with it. Right, let's get back to the van. Let Stephanie go for his run, get some breakfast, and then we're going to head on out of here. Stephen's back. How was your run?
Yeah, it was alright. I did 9.
9k, yeah?
9k, but I managed to do 5 of that, the first 5, in 30 minutes and 24 seconds.
That's really good.
So I'm 24 seconds off of that 30 minute point, which is what I want.
And for somebody who never ran before, this is amazing, and you do keep knocking time off of that record. And the fact that you beat your 5k whilst doing a 9k, that's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with that. Ugh.
Well done.
But now I'm knackered. I need some breakfast. Stop looking at my tits. Go on, go away.
Well, everyone wants to see your tits.
Nah, go on.
Well, they are going to see your tits.
Don't look at me, I'm shy.
You're not that shy. You stood outside the van without your top on.
Because I'm so hot.
Okay, so we just stopped at a French truck stop on one of the roads, not to stay or anything, but we've come to grab a shower, so we popped in. It was that place up there. There's like a little bar in there, you can grab a coffee and stuff. €5 for both of us, and it was a really lovely shower, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah,
so nice. So €5, like, that's a bit more than what you'd sometimes pay, but it doesn't matter, it was worth it. It was just really lovely. So we are clean, we are fresh, and we are looking for somewhere to move on to as we head towards Spain. Do you feel clean and lovely now, Steve?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. It's really hit and miss with these things. We've talked about the showers a lot, but that one was just, yeah, that was perfect. You handed over your keys, just left them as a deposit, and then there were little locks on the showers, so we unlocked them, went in, showered, did what we needed to do. Temperature was just perfect, not too hot, not too cold. You just kept pressing the button, and you could use them for as long as you wanted. So we can't complain, can we?
Yeah.
I think we're happy boys, happy clean boys, and time to move on. Morning, chick. And that's all we're getting. So since we showered, we went and did a bit of shopping. It's now the next day, and we moved further south as we head towards Spain very slowly, and we've found a wonderful little air, haven't we? Somewhere in the French countryside. Oh my God, it's just so peaceful. It's got everything here that you need. You've got your own spaces separated by hedges like it was a campsite. Do you know what I mean? You don't even always get that on campsites you pay for. There's even a toilet here that's open all night. I can't remember what it's called where we are. Maybe I'll put the name down there. But yeah, we're going to move on from here today. I'm just going to get out and do a little bit of exercise. We're going to set the bed up, and we're going somewhere, a little village, which is again meant to be one of France's most beautiful, although I think there's a list of God knows how many on that are called that. I think there's a whole category of them, so they might not all be, but this one's meant to be nice as well. And there's something very special there that we're going to go and see today. But first, we are going to pack up and just get ready, and I'll show you around the air very briefly.
Well, let's get going.
Aye. Yeah, all right then. All right. So we're in a bit of a rush to leave now, so I'm just going to show you very quickly. We were just parked over behind that tree. There's a few spaces between the hedges. Really nice. Very peaceful. Toilet over there that's open all night. Just very lovely and completely free. So very grateful for that. And we're just driving over here now to fill up the water tank and get rid of some rubbish. So we're just filling up the old girl's tank now. She's a bit thirsty. Yeah, this is the first time since we've been abroad that we've been able to fill up the tank. And it's just been so bloody lovely here, isn't it, Steve? Like, you couldn't hear anything. The only thing we heard in the morning was a rooster, which is quite nice, I think, to wake up to a rooster, don't you think? That feels quite lovely to be woken up by at the crack of dawn. I just think there's something nice about that. Some people complain about things like that, but I just think it's quite nice. And Steve's just giving our waste water tank a bit of a rinse out. Sometimes we do that, we stick the hose in. It's a bit powerful, that one, but that's sometimes a good thing. Because of course, you can't see in our waste tank, not really, so sometimes it's handy just to put some water up there just to help rinse it out if there's any bits stuck. We have arrived.
Wherever we are.
Wherever we are. I'll look it up so I know how to say it and then probably not say it right.
Yeah.
All right, so we've arrived, we've headed further south, and we're in a place called, I think, Orbiter-Cedrone. And here it's just a little village, I think, but it's meant to be very pretty, and we're in a free air again. How amazing, Stephen. I think it's got the services, water and all that kind of stuff. There seems to be plenty of space. There's one other motorhome. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sun's out. And we've come here just to have a look around, really, and somewhere to stop en route. But there is a thing we're going to see here which looks quite interesting, and that is an underground church, or a church built into the cliffs. So that's got an entry fee. I think it's about £6.60 or something, but I think that's okay. So yeah, we're going to go and have a look at that. That opens again soon. First, we're going to grab a little bit of lunch. I've got a bit of a smorgasbord of things. Is that the right word, Steve?
I have no idea.
An assortment. I've got an assortment of things. What I love about France is like going into the supermarkets and seeing some of the different things. A bit like we did in Germany. Some of the different things they've got in the fridges, like different salads. So they do like little lentil salads that you would never get back home. And this absolutely gorgeous thing, which is just mushrooms in a herby cream sauce. Oh my God, I'm sure it's really calorific, but it is so tasty. And I feel like you never see things like that in the supermarket back home. So very much been enjoying that. Got some carrots, sardines and other bits and bobs on there. So yeah, we're going to eat, and then we're going to go and have a look in the sunshine around this lovely little village.
Aye.
If it is lovely. I mean, we don't know yet.
No.
We'll find out.
Eat your dinner before it gets
All right, let's go. We're parked right by this river, the River Drone. I think there's like a little beach thing down there that you could potentially go in and go for a swim. Right by this river, very peaceful village. It's 22 degrees, the sun's out. Oh, so nice. We haven't found Spain yet. We're still in France, but maybe we're just in the region where it starts getting warmer, or maybe it's just a nice day all round. Not complaining either way. Oh my God. Oh, it's back to the heat. Should we moan about that now?
Yeah.
Let's just moan about that. We came in search of the sun and we'll just complain about the sun now.
No.
All right, so we came back. We had a little look around the village of Orbiter. Very pretty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
lovely,
nice.
Lovely little place. Very sleepy. There were so many English people, like an insane amount of English people.
Yeah.
Everywhere you looked, even you could hear them come in the buildings and just walking their dogs and stuff. So I don't know if this is a hotspot for like Brits to buy property or something.
For that reason, we have to leave.
Yeah, we have to get out. We didn't come here to find the Brits. I mean,
No, come on.
so, but very pretty, very lovely. The church was interesting because it's all carved into the rock inside a cliff. For €8 each, it's not very big, so you know, maybe a little bit overpriced, but like it was fine. I wanted to see it. It was interesting, wasn't it?
No.
Something different for sure.
It was a bit mouldy.
Bit mouldy?
Yeah, I think they got a bit of a damp problem.
Well, it is underground.
Yeah, maybe they should get some of those damp specialists in to drill some holes in the wall and put some silicone in and make it all.
Why don't they just plaster it and put some wallpaper up and
Well,
everything else?
That's what everybody else does at home.
Yeah, that's true.
On that note, we're going to end the video.
We are, because we're not actually going to stay here tonight. We were, not because it isn't lovely. It is absolutely lovely, and I just had a quick walk by the river. There's a nice little bit there and a little beach. But because we actually need a shop and we need some supplies, and there is nothing here, is there?
Yeah.
And we need a few other bits. There's other things we need to do, and we want to be settled somewhere else tomorrow. So actually, we're going to move on. But very lovely little spot. We would have stayed here quite happily, and I'm very glad we came here to see this. Another little pretty French village, all very gorgeous.
Aye.
Let's end the video, shall we?
Aye, so that's it. So please push your like button. Very important to push your like button.
It's important.
Subscribe if you like the channel, and push the notification bell if you want to be notified next time a video comes out. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep, thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Maybe it'll be in Spain, maybe it'll still be in France. Who can say?
Bye.
See you later. Bye.